So this financial expert is sharing the relationship red flags. Let's see if you agree.
Love is never enough, all right? And money is one of the top reasons that relationships end. So here are a few red flags. The first one is someone that's always spending but always broke. Okay, and these people are the people that have a champagne lifestyle but are on a soda budget. Okay, so they're scraping by. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their bills, but they have the new iPhone. They have the new designer bag, the new designer sneakers, right? So those are the people you want to look out for because they're all show and no go, and they're very dangerous people.
Champagne budget with soda money, not even beer money, soda money. Oh, I never heard that one. Now, first of all, she's 100% right. If you're out on a date and you're seeing someone just spending so much and they're looking fancy, all this expensive stuff, and you know their job definitely doesn't pay that, working customer service or some job, we're like, wait, there's no way this person could afford that. That is certainly a red flag. It's an extreme red flag. Now, it doesn't mean you automatically just discredit them. You gotta find out some more information like, yo, how you buying this stuff? I mean, I guess you could say like that. I don't know how. You could probably find some ways to get that information out because people will say things. You probably could say stuff like, yo, we think about buy now, pay later. It's pretty cool, right? And see what they say. If they're excited about it, like, yeah, man, use it. You're like, oh, extreme red flag. That's an extreme red flag right there. So there's ways you probably can get that information out from someone. But yeah, if I was in a dating scene, kind of married, and I seen that, I would certainly stay away. But the reason being is from being married and learning so much as I know now, I know that's certainly a red flag. But in my 20s, I don't think I was seen as a red flag, I'm being honest. I'm just not gonna lie. In my 20s, I was a sucker for beauty. I mean, that's the stupid thing about being in your 20s. You make dumb mistakes and dumb decisions. But now in my older age, I recognize that's certainly a red flag.
The second one is if they're not open or comfortable having discussions around money.
Right.
So if anytime you bring up money, they get defensive, that's a red flag and you don't want to be around that person. I once on a date asked the guy, I was like, hey, so just nonchalantly, what's your credit like? And he got so defensive. He acted like I was looking to go through his phone, you know?
That first number might be a 4.
Right, exactly. Because people with good credit don't mind talking about it, right?
Nah, I don't really agree with that so much. First of all, if someone comes to me in a date, first date, and just like, what's your credit score? I'm not going to answer it. I'm just not going to answer that. Because first of all, I don't know, right? I still feel like when it comes to money, it's still kind of personal, but it's still in reality. It's like, hold on a second. This is information I would tell someone if I was serious with. Understand, okay, here's my financial situation, how much money I make, if I'm in debt, how much debt I have. You know, I have that conversation. But just to wait for your introduction to me is to ask what my credit score is, that's a red flag if you ask me on the person. It's like, what? What's up? You need to make sure my credit is good. That way you can buy the things that you want to buy. No, that's not the case. But still, it's like, what the hell's going on here? Why are you asking me that question? You should not ask me that question. Let's see if we're compatible first. Let's have a conversation, see how our personalities are, and let's see how that works. A few days later, then yeah, you can ask for the credit score or whatever the case may be. We could find ways to bring this topic up. But simply just saying that your first date, of course, who wouldn't be shocked? I'll be shocked. I'm not going to answer it. I wouldn't expect anyone to answer it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't expect anyone to answer it and be truthful. No, nobody's going to be extremely honest like, yeah, my credit sucks. If you really like someone, you're going to try to see first, okay, is this the right person? Okay, now I say the truth. Right? Because it could be a deal breaker, so let me say it. Don't make the deal breaker before you even have a conversation with someone because you never know. Maybe they build through something, you could try to help them out. And I don't know. Who knows? But to just bail on someone because their credit score is not that great, you need more information. That's just my opinion.
The next one is if they have debt with no plan. So it's okay to have student loan debt. It's okay to have car loan, mortgage. But if someone's racking up credit card debt, payday loans, and they don't have a plan, they're on the verge of bankruptcy and they're going to take you down with them.
That is very true. Yeah. I mean, if someone has no plan at all, they're just like, let's figure it out. That is certainly a red flag. You need to have a plan. You need to, because having debt, everyone damn near has debt now. It's just the way it is, especially if you went to college. You're going to come out with some student loan debt. The thing is, what are you going to do with it? Because if you get into a relationship, and you, especially if you come in debt free, you have this mentality like, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to shop, I'm going to bar, I'm going to vacation, I'm chilling, right? I did all my hard work, I paid off all my debt, I'm good. But then you got to be with someone that's like, no, not me, I got to pay off my debt, whatever. You know, that kind of gets a little awkward because you need to know off the bat, okay, if there's someone I want to be with, then hey, we're married or whatever, married. And what I said, married. Pay off that debt. That way we could do this together, right? Double income, knock that thing out, keep it moving. But if someone has no plan to go, I don't really care about it, it's not important, then no, you're not gonna be the one to just say, yeah, let's get married, I pay it off. Like they put no effort. You have to put some effort into it. Because if people are not afraid of debt, then in the future, once you start buying things combined as a couple, they're just not gonna want to do nothing. They want to just buy, make, live a little. And next thing you know, you have all this debt and you're the responsible person. That's usually what leads to divorce, when two people are not in agreement. To me, that's bigger than just, that's bigger than just a credit score or whatever. That right there is huge. Even the disparity of how much money you make compared to them, that to me doesn't matter. When you're married, you combine it, which don't let me even start that. You combine it, and then you see where you go. But if someone is just willing to just have debt and is comfortable with it, that's a red flag.
And lastly, financial secrecy. And this typically comes later on in the relationship. So if someone is hiding what they're buying, has secret accounts, doesn't open their mail in front of you, right? That's a bad sign that they're hiding something.
Yeah, financial infidelity right now is extremely, extremely high. And that's true what you're saying. That might not be a situation when you first meet someone, but that can happen throughout marriage in general. And that usually happens when people say, I pay the bills, I keep my checking account, you keep your checking account. Everyone wants to be separate in the financial world. So you feel like I can run up credit card debt. It's my debt. I pay it back. Until you recognize you can't pay it back, that's when things get extremely dangerous, because I would be highly upset to know that I'm here handling my finances, I'm saving, we're investing, thinking we're doing all the right things while you're here accumulating debt on the side. Now we have to stop everything we do in our life to pay off that debt. Some relationships, people are like, nah, it's your debt, you handle it, which then causes like this, this schism within a relationship, because now one person is like, I want to do all these things in life. This other person's like, I can't do it because of the fact you have all this debt. That is just horrible. So yeah, I mean, I agree with all the red flags except for the one asking for the credit score on the first date. I mean, come on. You can't do that. There's ways to probably get sneaky with it and see what happens about credit scores and try to find a way to bring it up if it's the right time. But to me, that's probably like a second, not even a second, it's more like a third date type of thing. The second date is like, okay, this is the girl, this is the one I want to commit to. The third date, that's when you start finding out the living conditions, the finances, the kind of job they have, how they feel about, the financial future, debt, credit score. That's probably where we start bringing that stuff up, especially when you're going to get serious and start moving in with someone. Rather than waiting to the last minute, probably waste years of being with someone, and then we start to move in and decide to move in, I should say, and you find out their credit score is shot, and you could have found that out like 2 years ago, and if that could be a deal breaker, it's not a good situation. Well, guys, drop a comment down below and let me know, do you agree with any one of these red flags? Or is there any red flags that you want to add? Drop a comment down below, because I'd love to hear it. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you on my next video. Peace.